We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm so glad you could join us on another episode of Minor Football Fans podcast. This is actually a special episode. We're taking a break from what we usually do, but that doesn't mean we won't deliver quality material for y'all. But we hope you all enjoy this episode. So please stick with us. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. As you heard earlier, this is a special episode. I hope you all are enjoying yourself. I'm David, his spy. Spy, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
He's good. He's good. We're all good. Let's go. So, as I said earlier, this is a special episode. This is while taking a break from what we usually do. As you all know, this is also the international period. By the time this episode drops, we'll be thick in the international period with the international games going on. So we decided to, take a break from our usual lineup and just, talk about the season so far. This is the last international break of the year, which means
Thank God.
I know, thank God. Which means we're pretty much at the end of the start of the season. 11 games in, so much has happened, and yet there's still no clear favorite on who will win the Premier League title. But before we get into all that, we have to start by saying thank you so much to all our lovely followers and subscribers and all the amazing people that keep up with us and watch our show. We appreciate you all so much. And for those of you that are new, first watching the show, stopping by the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button that appears down below. And then also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we drop amazing content for you guys on YouTube. Thank you so much. And also don't forget, this is not the only place you can find us. Listen to Minor Football Fans podcast on all podcast platforms. If you don't do YouTube, we are pretty much on all podcast platforms. Check out our socials also so that you can keep in touch with us. DM us, tell us your crazy football, take. And, we might not insult it. We might insult it. We don't know what. We might talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. But please DM us, follow our socials. Thank you so much. So let's get right into the spy. As I said, taking a break from our usual lineup, I will just, as I said, this is the last international break. So this is the end of the start of the season, pretty much. 11 games in, so much have happened. There have been a few surprises and kind of a little bit of underachievement so far. But the drama is non-stop. The drama has not wavered. So let's kick right into it. We'll talk about a few teams and just talk about where they are now and what we expect from them going into the season, going into the next phase of the season. Because the season is broken into three parts. There's the part to the end of the last international break, then there's the Christmas period, and then there's the January to the end of the season period. So the first period is done. What is your biggest surprise so far?
City losing 4 in a row in all competition.
Yes, I do vibe with that. That's definitely. We'll go into that in more detail when we talk about City, but that was definitely shocking. Like, it has never happened to City. It has never actually happened to Pep Guardiola as a manager, and even since he's been at City, losing 4 in a row, and obviously the 4 in a row have not been in Premier League, because let's be frank, if they had lost 4 in a row in the Premier League, then the title race is pretty much done. Like, I don't see them coming back from 4.
Is it though?
You cannot come back. Like,
So.
no, true. Like, with the way the Premier League is right now, the way it's suited, you cannot lose 4 in a row and win the league.
I think you can.
I don't think you can.
This league right now, the only consistency I'm seeing is Liverpool. Yeah.
I don't. Anyways, we'll come into that. But yes, so obviously City losing is very shocking. But yeah, let's just dive into some teams. We won't talk about all 20 teams in Premier League, but we'll just talk about a few notable teams that we had high expectations for, or we had low expectations for, and they're proving us wrong, and all that good stuff. So let's start with obviously Liverpool. Currently, every team has pretty much played 11 games. Liverpool have won 9, drawn 1, lost 1, 28 points, first in the Premier League. It's fine. What do you think of Liverpool? Did you expect this from them? Did you expect Arne Slot to? These are still the same players. Let's be frank. Same players, pretty much same. Not same system, but same personnel. System slightly changed, just slightly, right? Did you expect them to be this? Allow me to use the word dominant in the first 11 games of the season.
I mean, hey, it's Liverpool at the end of the day. Like I said this before in one of the episodes. I said when you have the same players around you, that chemistry is there. And when Liverpool play, you can see that understanding. You can see that link up. They know who's this, what is what movement is waiting. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So like when you have that around you and you have the quality in there as well, you're destined to make the best out of it. And if you can get a manager like Jurgen Klopp that brought the best out of the players, and now Slot, consistency is there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the consistency. I mean, Liverpool fans are living life right now, and Liverpool as a club, they're living life right now. Top of the Premier League, City dropped points, Arsenal dropped points, literally 5 points clear of the next best team. I mean, 5 points doesn't mean anything, but they are 5 points clear of the next best team, and then top of the Champions League too. They are literally the only team that have won every game in the Champions League. That is just absolute dominance from Liverpool this season.
100%. That's like I said about the consistency that they have had so far is applaudable. That's the word. It's applaudable. New manager, first season, they come in, they switch on straight away. In the Champions League, they're doing wonders. It's not as if they're playing easy people, because Champions League these days, like, is there anyone that's actually easy? We're seeing Brest doing some interesting things. So yeah, sorry, just a bit of Michael Richards coming out of me. So we see that Liverpool consistency, losing one. So in the Premier League, they have literally just dropped 6 points. Actually, no, 5 points.
5 points.
Get 5 points, drawing one, losing one. That consistency, we don't see that consistency anymore in the Premier League due to, Rodri's injury, Arsenal crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, obviously, we're going into a busy period in time in the league. Do you think they can keep it up? Because obviously, the Champions League group phase still goes up until, January, right? So, do you think they can keep this going? And it's not like their bench is that good. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that good, but they're going to be tired legs. Boys, Liverpool. If you watch the training that the players have been through, if you watch their preseason training, you know that these players can play 180 minutes on the go. Robertson can play probably 270 minutes without stopping. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And like, they have that mentality to keep Salah can play with the hamstring. That's what I feel. He can have a hamstring injury and you play the next match. They have this drive, they have the desire to chase something. And I see them pushing on. If there are no injuries, I see that consistency.
Okay. I mean, you're the first person that I've heard say this. Like, even the big pundits haven't said this. So we'll see.
The pundits at me.
We'll see. And obviously their last result, Liverpool beat Villa 2-0 at Anfield. They took Villa apart, dissected them, and just got the W out of that. So big ups to Liverpool. Moving on to the next team that everyone considered title challengers, Manchester City.
Oh, sorry.
Well, what?
Sorry.
No, I don't. No, that we'll get to that. I can't believe
Oh,
it.
I think you said title contenders, so that's why I say United. But sorry, carry on.
When last were United title contenders?
Can you carry on?
Oh, okay. Manchester City. The season started obviously bright, winning their first 4 games in the league, top of the league. It looked like they were flying, and and then they met Arsenal. Rodri gets injured, and pretty much once Rodri got injured, everyone just said City's season will be, wobbly, and it has been wobbly. As we said earlier, this is the first time in Pep's managerial career. We're talking about like back to his days of Barcelona. He's losing 4 games in a row. And obviously 4 games coming, 2 in the league, 1 League Cup, and then 1 Champions League. But that's still 4 games in a row. And then losing back to back Premier League games. I can't remember that happening. A City side losing back to I think I have to go back to the season Liverpool won the league. Like that COVID season when they losing back to back games in the league.
It's really hard to remember episode.
I know that's just how good they have been.
Lost to United. That 2-1 win, that 2-1 United win, and I think that was the back-to-back that they lost again. Or was it before United? I don't know, but it's been a while.
It's been a minute, So that's just how good they have been, and you can clearly see that City will allow you score. Like without Rodri, like I'm not saying their defense is bad, but it's just that there's a disorganization without Rodri in it. Like there's an over reliance on Rodri in it, and that's big ups to Rodri. That's to show how consistent Rodri has been, and
like the one and only Ballon d'Or winner.
Exactly, he's already a Ballon d'Or winner. Big ups to him. But City, 5 points from the top. Rodri isn't coming back anytime soon. Yes, they have Kevin De Bruyne back. It still doesn't look like they are. Still doesn't look like they are organized. You know what I mean? It still looks like yes, they will score goals.
But now, look at this here. De Bruyne being back, it gives City that bit of attacking structure. So now it's going to be a case of can we outscore? Which they can. Haaland is going to outscore. Now he has that support of Kevin De Bruyne. Now Pep can fall back to what he played in that glory season against the, Aston Villa. Even though Rodri was in that structure, he can fall back to that and say, okay, let's do something like we get Kovacic sitting, we get Gundogan and De Bruyne out there, or 2 sitting and De Bruyne in that forward. He's done that before. He did Rodri sitting, and he did De Bruyne and Gundogan, and we saw how that played an impact in his glory season. And in terms of the front three, Foden has not really been on it this season.
That's also another thing too. Foden hasn't kicked in.
Yeah, but last week he scored a goal. Is it in Champions League? Sorry,
that's against Sporting. They still lost.
Haaland, since he told Arteta be humble, I think your left foot and right foot has been humble. So I don't know. Be humble, eh? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember if we're going to talk about Brighton, but in their last game, Brighton, obviously, in the first half, Brighton could not do nothing. And then pretty much the same thing they did against Spurs. If you remember the game against Spurs, they were down halftime and then they come in the second. I don't know what team talk was said to do it again and again and again. The team talk must be really good. And City just broke down. And yeah.
They need that. They need that leadership. Like, don't get me wrong, Ruben Diaz is a very good leader, but he's in defense. We need that leadership going forward. We need that structure. We need that balance. Pep has depended on Rodri so much, which he hasn't really done in any other team he's managed. If you look at it, don't get me wrong, Messi, but you know what I mean?
That's different.
They played games without Messi and they still won. I'm talking about Not him. Rodri has only missed like 2 City games since he came, and that wasn't even missing. He just didn't
Injury.
start.
That was it. That was like it's not even injury. It's more like suspension. Like when
Like his red card and whatever. So you could see that Pep had literally built a City team around one man, which that man has been consistent for like how many seasons in a row? 3, 4, 3 or 2, I don't know. And the fact that that consistent structure is out, that foundation is out, City is really struggling. And Pep said it with his mouth. He said if Kelvin doesn't come back on time, we will struggle. He's back. Maybe that struggles will stop. Maybe not. But
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. After we need the international breakdown with because we need to see this. Obviously, as you know, there are a bunch of players that are pulled out from their national teams for various countries for one reason or the other, and
Mhm.
they will be back fit. It literally once the international break is done, they will all come back fit and play for their various clubs. But that's a story for another day. And it will be interesting to see Kevin De Bruyne back to his fullness and how much City can outscore teams. Because with one thing is for sure, they will concede goals.
100%.
So it's definitely how can we outscore you?
No, I know. I said this. I said this in my party yesterday with my brethren. I said, if you want to win me in a game of FIFA, you have to outscore me. They were like, definitely, that's how you win a football match. But the context is different. Like, yes, that's how you win a football match to outscore me. But the best way of defending is by attacking. That's the context I'm trying to say. So if City can always put the ball in the back of the net and concede less, then their struggles would reduce. And they have that player that has the ability to create 10 chances in one game back in the lineup, which is Kevin De Bruyne. His qualities, I think, is underspoken. And
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll definitely see. Moving on to another team, I think we'll like this one. Manchester United. The season did not start the way they wanted it to. Everyone thought, okay, Ten Hag getting another full season, getting his players in, the players he wants, you know, and it did not go that way. And he ended up being sacked. And now, then Ruud van Nistelrooy took over, and it's been roses and sunshine ever since. It's like we have seen the light at the end of the darkness, and Miguel Almiron is that his name? Miguel Almiron, or I forget what his name is. Ruben Almiron, that's his name. Ruben Almiron was hired as the next manager. Obviously, he beat City in the Champions League. And it just looks like it's going to be all roses and sunshine, obviously, figuratively. That's, they will still have a few struggles here and there. But that's expected. But it looks like it's only going to get better from here on. What do you think, Spy? This is your club. What do you think?
I think it still comes out. If you can just, our viewers, if you can just remember when the words came out of my mouth, Manchester United players, they know how to play to remove a manager. I know it sounds a bit, what's the word, narcissistic or whatever, that you say a footballer is not going to play bad for a coach to come out. But with like, if I'm saying it for the first time, it's like he's saying something rubbish. But we've seen this back to back to back to back. We've seen it with Jose, we've seen it with Moyes, we've seen it with Van Gaal, we've seen it with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we've seen it with Radnick. We keep seeing this. Once the
Yep.
players are tired of the manager, they know how to play. You could see the immediate response that they had once Ten Hag was gone. And put your mind that these were the same players.
Exactly, same personnel.
Did not change no personnel. These were the same personnel Ten
Ten
Hag
Hag.
starts. he trusts, quote unquote, and these are the same personnel that Ruud used, and you could see the immediate difference. You could see that lust for goals. You could see that it's a thing of the structure in the club is messed up. Hopefully, a young manager who can really like communicate and understand the players would fix that. Hopefully,
Mhm.
he'll probably get rid of Xerxes 9.5 and maybe getting, you know, a man can only wish. A man can only wish.
A man can only wish. He did say he's not bringing any players from Sporting in January, so it might be till the summer. A
And
man can
that
only wish.
means Gyökeres is going to stay in sport until the summer.
A man can only wish. He will definitely not be a Sporting next season. I know that for sure. So
That is the young.
we'll see what team gets him.
That is the young journey. I mean, he's never going to Arsenal. He said it with his own mouth in his dream. I was in his dream. He said that it's not going to be in an Arsenal jersey. Just saying.
Yeah. But United, obviously sitting 13th in the league by no fault of their own. Actually, it's all their fault, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted to mess around a bit. But United 13th in the league. I said it wasn't their fault. It wasn't any fault of theirs, But that was just me messing around because we all know it is heavily on the fault of the players and obviously the manager shares a part in it. But 13th in the league, how far can Ruben Amorim carry them? Not Miguel. Why do I keep using Miguel? Ruben Amorim carry them. What is the
Ringer or shall we?
Sorry?
Oh,
that's it. Oh yeah, Newcastle. Oh, Miguel Amorim. Oh, that is why. Yeah, okay, yeah, forget that. Ruben Amorim. How far can he carry this United? Where do you think they can finish this season? Because obviously they can't win the league. Let's be frank, they can't win the league this season. So like, where can they get this season? Spy, you already have 4 losses. You cannot win the league. Okay, I'll give you this. If Liverpool lose 3 more games this season.
No, we're just looking for stability. I'm just telling you that.
Okay.
We're just looking for stability, hopefully Champions League football, because I was telling if one of my friends named Josie, you should know him. We watched Champions League on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we were in a PlayStation party, and we were both saying what is that sound again? That Europa sound.
I don't know. It's been a minute since
Yeah. And I said,
it's been a minute.
And I said, wow, from singing "We Are the Champions" to this, damn, we started laughing. I said, it is what it is.
Yeah, United need Champions League music back in Old Trafford. That's what it is. A club like United cannot be outside the Champions League. It's yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, United, I do agree with you. They do need stability. We're not looking to win the league. We're not looking to if you guys win a cup, that would be lovely. But stability and finishing in the top 4 would be really nice. That's the goal, and I believe he can do it. He can do it. He's shown that he's a what's the word? He's not destroyer. No, what's the killer of big teams? He can kill big teams. So which we trust in Ruben Amorim, we trust, right? Ruben Amorim, trust. Moving on to another team, they really decided to not go into this one because it started to look suspicious and weird. Chelsea. Actually, that's not what I was going with, but we'll stick with Chelsea.
We all knew what you're going to be.
We all knew, yes, but we'll stick with this one. No one really saw this coming. Let's be frank. We knew Enzo Maresca is good, but we didn't think he'll be this good. Because let's be frank, this is just different. Chelsea are just different. I mean, yes, they are still immature. Yes, they cannot win the league. They are not going to win the league. They are contending for a title because obviously they are third in the league. But they are not winning the league. But with that said, this is just, it's like we knew like, okay, there's potential. But the rate at which they are reaching that potential is rising faster than everyone's thoughts,
Expectation.
expectation. You know what I mean? Like it's so. I'm even lost for words. Like when I'm talking about Chelsea right now, I'm lost for words.
I think it's a thing of a stronghold. He has a stronghold on the club. We saw that since the beginning of the season. I keep emphasizing on this. If a manager can come out and bash all the things that he's seen in the press, but he bashes it off naturally in the sense of like not shaming his players, not shaming the club, but saying what he wants to work at. And he did that perfectly. Once he did that, I said, okay, he has his business, he has his structure. It's a thing of now, can these players like perform at what he wants? And we have seen them doing that. You know, he has his Europa team. Sorry,
Conference League team.
he has his Conference League team. He has his Premier League team. Sometimes he mixes it up a bit. You've seen the likes of Pedro Neto against Arsenal. But the point is, he has this stronghold on the club, and the players. I think they respect that, and yeah, he's tried to take something away, which their manager last season put in the club, which was like building the club around Palmer. He's taking that away. Palmer is still a key man, don't get it wrong, but he's kind of like taking that away that they can attack without that key man. We've seen it a couple times, not all the time, but we've seen it a couple times. Last season, you could just see if Chelsea scores a goal, they're like, oh, Palmer scored. But this time we're asking, oh, who scored? Because we've seen Nicholas Jackson, sitting up, and Pedro Neto, the amount of injuries he's gone through, and he's still that quick and needs to be studied. We've seen Jadon Sancho playing football. He's always been a footballer, but his little disagreement with Boardhang has caused some whatever. We've seen Madueke playing some football 1 or 2 times. We've seen that Yokohama Chelsea. I keep emphasizing that Yokohama Chelsea because when they had
I do remember that Chelsea.
They had Willian, they had Pedro, underrated by the way. Pedro, so underrated. Diego Costa, Hazard, Fabregas, N'Golo Kante. Needs to be done.
Yeah, Chelsea. The word I was looking for that I got lost for words for when describing Chelsea is exponential. Like they are just exponentially growing. Like it's so rapid. So big ups to Chelsea. I know that this is a long-term project. This is not quick, and obviously, so I don't expect Chelsea to finish first or win the league. They might win a cup, maybe win Conference League, and that's a good season, and then probably finish fifth, fourth, one of them too, depending on where United are, and how fast United also rise in the standings in table.
I don't understand why is United called. So I'm seeing some people dropping from that top 4. But carry on, please. Let me know entirety.
But yeah, big ups to Chelsea. And since you're talking about teams dropping, we all know where you're going to. Let's just talk about it. Arsenal hasn't have. No, that's wrong English. Arsenal hasn't had. Oh my days. Arsenal hasn't had the season that they expected, or that many of us really thought they should have. Only won 5 games out of 11. This season. There are a lot of things that have happened that have contributed to this.
Can I just ask a question?
Some of it of Arsenal's making. Sorry?
United have won 4 games this season, yeah?
I believe so, yes.
Carry on.
Some of them, they are of Arsenal's own making, and there are some own foolishness at times. But some of it was just blatant refereeing and officiating decisions. With that being said, the question for you, Spy, is
What do I think of Arsenal? Shit. What do I think of shit? Arsenal. That's all right.
I don't think that's how the chance goes.
He
But
goes. He goes. What do you think of Arsenal? Shit. What do you think of shit? Arsenal. Thank you. That's all right. We hear
my question
Arsenal.
for you is
Arsenal.
Arsenal, what do you expect from them now? What's the expectation for them? Knowing how the season has started, what do you expect from them now? Because I believe we all had the same expectation of, I believe this Arsenal season, or Arsenal can push to obviously go get, like they have done it, they have pushed twice and fallen short just by literally, the first one was 3 points, the second one was 2 points. Okay, now it can't be 1 point. Like we can't get to that point that it's 1 point. Go and grab this by the head. So what's the expectation for them? And don't show me a bottle.
My expectations. I'll be really honest with you right now. What do I expect from Arsenal? This season, I expected you lot to come out with a bit more maturity, a bit more experience, which you did. But obviously, along the line, there've been some downsides. There've been red cards. There've been injuries. There've been misfortunes. Misfortunes. Referee decisions fall under that as well. Don't get it wrong. So, but in terms of that, how do you bounce back? By your fans. I think fans hold such a high structure in football that is so not spoken of. But every single time I hear Arsenal lost a match or Arsenal considered a goal, I hear Martinelli's name being called. And I'm like, justice for Martinelli. Like BLM should be turned to MLM. Martinelli's life matters, because Jesus Christ, Martinelli. He scored your goal last week, your only goal last week. But what did I hear? Oh, Martinelli should have marked Pedro on the attack. I'm not saying you're wrong. Don't get it wrong. Don't get me mistaken. But it's always Martinelli that's the 4 point. And he's getting so much hate that he can't even, his confidence is going. We've seen that with, like, he's a young player, but we don't get it wrong. Martinelli is very young. And you're taking away his confidence. I was on YouTube today. I saw someone say 100 and something reasons to sack Arteta. And I'm like, Arteta is your best manager since the world's best, Wenger. And I'm like, excuse me, like, what's going on? I'm hearing, I think you guys need to back your players, back your manager, and trust in the process. Obviously, like you said, the Chelsea is a long-term game. Arsenal is still a long. Sorry.
I do agree. We as a fan base sometimes can exaggerate the level of desperation. Let's call it what it is. Arsenal fan base does exaggerate the level of desperation, and fair enough, we have high expectations, but I feel like sometimes we do exponent it. And I don't think that's healthy as a fan base. Yes, we have our connection back to the club. Obviously, towards the end of Wenger's reign, and even Emery's reign, there was a disconnect between the club and the fan base. But now you can see the fan base and the club are one, and we are passionate. So I do agree that we have to tone it down a bit. We do have to dial it back a bit. So yeah, it should be. We'll see. Arsenal still, there's still. I believe if Arsenal loses 2 more games, the season is done. That's what I believe. I strongly believe that with 4 losses, you cannot win the league. 3 is a stretch. You might get away with 3, but at this stage, 4 losses is you are done. So I do believe Arsenal have 1 more loss left in them, and that is it. If they win or draw from now to the end of the season, the lead is theirs. But if they lose one more, I as an Arsenal fan,
Are we talking about the same Premier League that you said the league is theirs?
yes, I do believe that if Arsenal win out or win and draw out this season, the league is Arsenal's.
I like
But
I like something. This proves my point. I spoke about Arsenal problems. You relayed on like I spoke about 3 problems. You relayed on 2. I'm left one out. In my left,
no, I'm not good saying
his life matters. Arsenal fans.
there are some players that do need to step up. I'll tell you this. There are some players that need to step up. E.g. Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus needs to step up. E.g. Trossard. It's like Trossard cannot score a goal when he's starting. He only score goals when he's literally coming off the bench. But this is not me bad. This is just me like saying, but I do believe Gabriel Jesus is one player that I think needs to step up. He's that's all I'm going to say. Martinelli has been fantastic this season. Last season, obviously, there was a drop off last season, and I can't blame him for it because of the injury. He's starting to get to that point. So hopefully, because we know he does have 10, 15 goals in him. 10, 15 goals, easily. So I'm not going to say anything about Martinelli. As I said, Arsenal one more loss, and we might as well call this season a wrap.
I think you should call it a wrap already because honestly, I was expecting a stronghold Arsenal. I saw at this season when you guys came into the league, I saw an Arsenal with a positional replacement. If Rice got injured, there was a replacement. If Havertz got injured, there was a replacement. If Martinelli got injured, there was a replacement. I saw this replacement, Arsenal, Ben White replacement. I saw everything. I saw the backup. But now, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a whole lot of this. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a whole lot.
Moving on to the other side of North London, Spurs. I only thought Spurs could lose away from home. I thought Spurs could not lose at home. I mean, obviously, they lost the North London derby at home. But let's leave that aside. And then they come and they fall short against Ipswich. I don't get me wrong. I don't have Ipswich being relegated. I expect them to win some games. But against Spurs at home, that was mental. And it's like Spurs just can't. If we were to define consistency, we'll say City, we'll say Liverpool. Sometimes we'll say Arsenal because Arsenal have been consistent as of recently. But then if we say inconsistency, define inconsistency, Tottenham Hotspur. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think inconsistency in the Premier League right now is Arsenal. But I hear your point. I really do hear it. And obviously, I just got a word from the media. They said there's a bit of correction in our vocabulary. Is Amorim, sorry, not Amorim. Just from the media. Thank you very much, media personnel. But inconsistency. I said this before. When you would talk about Tottenham's coach, I see a wannabe Pep Guardiola. That's what I see. And last season it was working, but this season he's tried to overdo it. He's pushed Son way too wide.
Well, obviously they do have a proper striker now. So like,
let me finish. I don't care if you have Dominic Anime Solanke. I don't care. You play Son where Son is most dangerous. That's what I want to see. That's what I would like. I don't want no Jujutsu Kaisen up top. I don't want no Naruto up top. I want to see that Tottenham Hotspur that always gives City problems, that always is given the chance that we like to hear. What are those chants? What do you think about Arsenal? Sorry. But by the way, that's not how the chant goes. I just want to mix it a bit. But like I said, I'm just seeing a wannabe Pep Guardiola football with no backline structure. They conceded 3 goals to Brighton in the space of how many minutes? And they were comfortably winning that much 2-0.
I know.
And now we see a leaky backline with an inconsistent forward line. Come on. You can't score Ipswich? Really?
Yeah.
What did you call it? Something ball? What's the ball?
We call it handball. Yeah, we call it handball.
Nothing like handball. I see a structureless Tottenham ball.
Yeah. I'm not going to bash them too much. Like it's pointless doing it at this point.
I'm just
But
bashing.
but it is weird that they have so many good players and they're still this inconsistent.
100%.
But
I could say the
it's
same
what
about
it is.
clubs in the Premier League. But we shall not do that. We shall talk about Tottenham. Saka.
Aston Villa. Wait, what did you just say?
Actually, Aston Villa.
I don't blame you. It's not your fault.
What did you hear? Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, fine.
Don't worry about it. Aston Villa were living life about 2 weeks ago.
100%.
Third in the Premier League? No, fourth in the Premier League, top of the Champions League. And since then, I think they had 4 straight losses or 4 straight games in which points have been dropped. Aston Villa.
Come back to what we said. If
Ninth in the Premier League.
If they have the consistency, the power to keep up the intensity on the Champions League nights, and then the intensity on the Premier League evening, they are good to go. But we saw they were holding up. But now it's looking like
they have to pick one.
Yeah. And definitely you cannot pick the Champions League. Yeah, you can't. So I would just say Villa fans, like, enjoy the anthem. Enjoy it, really. But if you really want to succeed and you want this dropping of points to stop, you need to first of all get rid of Tyrone Mings.
Bro, that was a weird ass situation. I mean, it was almost called. It's pretty much the same that happened last season, though. Pretty much the same that happened last season. Arsenal versus Bayern. It's just that Arsenal. It wasn't called for Arsenal, but
Do you understand? 90% of the games Tyrone Mings plays for Villa, he has done something wrong. Either an own goal, either an error leading to goal, either a wrong pass leading to Tyrone Mings.
No, I think that Champions League match was just terrible. It was terrible. Like,
obviously, not give it for Arsenal because Arsenal is a struggle. Yeah.
But anyways, Villa. Six.
Honestly, yes. Ferguson said this last season. He said the underdogs that were really threatened and need to be watched is Aston Villa, which he was right. This season they were doing the same, but
reality has caught up.
Tired legs.
Reality has caught up to them. Reality has said, "Okay, timeout, we're done."
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of another team that has surprised us a bit, Crystal Palace. I decided to really throw this one out here because everyone thought with the way they finished last season, all they were doing last season, they will come into the season and even do better than what they did last season. But it's been a shit show since then. Obviously, they sold Michael Olise. Like we knew it would impact them, but we didn't think it would impact them this bad. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
I don't know. Because when I watch Crystal Palace games, I see a lot of chances. Eze has a lot of chances. Mateta sometimes, so on and so forth. But it's not just happening for them. So I don't really know. It's like they're so dependent on those two players that if something doesn't go through them, it doesn't happen. And I think it's not really working because if Eze is not on it in terms of finishing, at least last season you could see if Eze wasn't on it, Olise will take that.
Also, yeah.
Now we are not
Mateta was on there.
yeah, we are not seeing that nonchalant dreaded anymore in the Premier League. So the Mateta needs to step up.
Yeah.
FPL, but he needs to step up.
I had them as my overachievers of the season, and they're deeply underperforming. I'm not going to blame myself.
That's not overachievers.
Okay. Last but not least, Forest. Big surprise here. Forest, 11 games, they have won 5, 19 points, 15 in the Premier League. No one really saw this coming, let's be frank. No one really saw Forest going this high. Everyone obviously expected that they will compete to a degree, but to compete at this level to a higher degree.
Sure. 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you, but at the same time, you need to I've said this before. A small manager is a small manager, a big manager is a big manager. If you give a small manager a small club, he's going to perform like a big manager in a big club. We've seen it Graham Potter, we've seen it Nuno in Wolves, and now we've seen it again, Nuno in Forest. And Chris Wood. My oh my, you're having
Chris Wood. Oh, I don't know why I forgot to mention that. Chris Wood
for last month, he got player of the month. Congratulations to Chris Wood for that. I'm not doing your SBC though, just to put that out there. If you know, you know. I'm not doing your SBC, but congratulations. And first, are playing good football.
They are playing good football.
I like it.
Yes, definitely. As I said, we won't touch on every team, but these are just the few teams with the most storylines in the league as we have, reached the end of the start of the season. So, Spy, I believe I can happily say I cannot wait for the festive fixtures. The festive period will be amazing. Pretty much the period from the international break. Once the international break is over, the fixtures from then on are just can't wait for it.
Let me just say this. There's going to be a whole lot of back-to-back losses. And I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. And we are going to see what Amorim, gonna take me a while to get that name right. We're gonna see what he can do. Finally we have a proper English speaking manager. Not finally, but we've had quite a few. We have Moyes, we have Ole. When I mean proper, I want someone that can tell Rashford, stay wide, break down the line, get in behind, not Rashford, yes, stay. We don't discriminate around here, but if you get what I'm trying to say, we need that young manager. He understands how the players go. He understands the role. We're about to see what's his name? Yuri. Is that his name?
Yes.
Back. We're about to see him back.
Tyron Malacia also.
Yeah, he's back. We've seen Amorim speak about his structure, playing a 3-back, trying out a 3-back. The way United plays, I think that would work. Genuinely, I think that would work. You have 3-4-3 fullbacks because really and truly, our fullbacks are not defenders. Dallo is more time a semi-winger. Hopefully Luke Shaw comes back. Going forward, he is quite good for England and for United sometimes. We would like to see Rashford back on form. Garnacho, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe then Our strikers, I don't know, 9.5 and Mr. Injury. That is 9.5 Zegzi and Mr. Injury is Hojland. I feel our backline could be really solid. We have Dele, Yori, Letaro, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire. It could be really something threatening. I would like to see what he holds. Obviously, I don't have any hopes. I don't have any still United at the end of the day. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This has been fun. This has been fun. Just talking about major storylines. We hope you all enjoyed this episode.
just before we go, just food for thought. Could you sing with me, please? It's a good
No.
chance.
No. We hope you all enjoyed this
What do you
episode.
think about Arsenal?
We'll be back after the international break. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. There's still a lot of football left to be played. Wide open. Title race is wide open. 4 teams pretty much still contending. Let's see who will come out on top. We hope you have an amazing week. I'm David. He's Spy. We're out.
We are Rogue Media Sports.